take-ons completed by teenage wingers in the top 5 leagues. He is most active down the Chelsea right-hand side. He's on 66 ball carries for the season so far. Ball carries when you're moving the ball 5 metres or more. The end location as well of these carries really significant, driving into the penalty area in a prime position as well, location for those cutbacks that we know Enzo Maresca loves. His longest carry as well, just over 57 metres, started in fact in his own half and ends in the opposition penalty area. Let's have a look at it. It's against Brighton earlier this season. Estêvão pulls wide, collects the ball from Robert Sanchez. Lovely bit of skill here, goes past Ferdi Kalioglu. Lewis Dunk, poor Lewis Dunk, tries his best to get back there, but he's miles off it. And Yamal van Hecke was the man to block the shot there, ruining it really for Estêvão. He got the crowd going with it. But that was his longest carry at just over 57 metres this season. You can see the talent there. And a recent study by the CIS Observatory in Switzerland valued the world's most valuable teenagers. Estêvão second on the list. He's already worth an estimated £104 million.
I mean, he seems to be being used by Maresca a little bit more as a substitute at the moment. He was certainly in the first few games he played for 90 minutes. He seems to be coming off the bench, and he's coming off the bench and scoring the most amazing goals, not least the goal against Liverpool. So I'm guessing Chelsea are pretty happy with this wonder kid that they've got.
I mean, potentially he's an absolutely incredible player. I've seen him play a few times. He's the kind of player you would expect to be playing for Real Madrid or Barcelona, not for Chelsea, with all due respect. And I think it's really important to point out that a lot of people have had a lot to say about Chelsea's transfer strategy. Apparently they've been spending a lot of money. It's been hit and miss. Well, Dave just said there that Estêvão is worth £104 million at the moment. Guess what? Chelsea would not sell him for £104 million. They bought him in a deal which was worth an initial £29 million.
Wow.
They signed him from Palmeiras, not last summer, the summer before, so the summer of 2024. And they agreed to let him stay at Palmeiras so that he could develop. And in fact, at this summer's Club World Cup, he played for Palmeiras against Chelsea. And I think he scored against Chelsea as well. So he's come over to England. He's adapted to the Premier League really, really quickly. I think in the future, the plan is for him to play maybe through the middle. But at the moment, I don't think he's ready for that. I also don't think he's ready to start games regularly for Chelsea. And that's where Enzo Maresca, has been really, really brilliant with the way he's handled Estêvão. He's been really, really careful. He's mostly played on the right. Pedro Neto is first choice in that position. But when he's come on and when he started, he's looked an absolutely incredible prospect. The kind of player that, even if you're not a Chelsea fan, if Chelsea are playing, you want to go and watch Chelsea to see what this guy is all about. Is he as good as people are saying he is? And what Enzo Maresca is really good at, not only is he an incredible tactician, he's very good at developing young players as well. He's very good at looking after his players as well. We know on the right-hand side, Chelsea, he's got the option of Pedro Neto, Estêvão. On the other side, he's got the option of Garnacho and Gittins. Cole Palmer is going to be coming back as well. So look, if you're a modern Chelsea player, unless perhaps if you're Moises Caicedo or Enzo Fernandez, you're not going to be playing every game. You are going to be rotated. And Estêvão has bought into that 100%. And also we've seen in the past, some players from South America have found it difficult to adapt to life in the Premier League. Living in and around Cobham in Surrey is probably not what Estêvão and his family have been used to, but he has absolutely embraced the lifestyle, and I think he's going to be an absolutely incredible signing for Chelsea. If you wanted to sign Estêvão now, you're talking about £200 million before Chelsea would even pick up the phone to talk to you.
It's fascinating. I thought that interview was really telling as well, that he even talks about his age, and he sort of says he has to remind himself that he's just 18, and it wasn't so long ago that he was literally playing barefoot in the streets, and that's how far he's come, and he has adapted. Why? I mean, I don't know whether you can answer this, Carve. Why has he adapted so well when perhaps other players, like Florian Wirtz, where we look at him, hasn't adapted so well to come from Germany? He's come from Brazil, and he's adapted so incredibly well, even though he says it's complicated here.
I've got to be honest with you, I'm not an expert on Brazilian football. I did see a lot of Brazilian sides in the Club World Cup in the summer, and I know from speaking to people who cover Brazilian football that the Brazilian league is still physically pretty tough. You know, you can't be a flaky player if you play for a side like Palmeiras or Botafogo or Fluminense. You know, you need to have something about you, and Estêvão is somebody who can handle the physicality of the Premier League, because playing out wide, you know, he's up against some very, very good left backs in the Premier League, and physically he's been up to the challenge. Whenever I've watched him, I've never thought this is somebody who's not going to be able to handle the Premier League. Maybe he would find it difficult if he was played through the middle at this stage of his career. I think that is something that's going to come a little bit later. But I think these are exciting times for Chelsea. They've got a big Champions League game coming up at home against Barcelona as well. Who knows, Cole Palmer may be back for that too. You know, I know Chelsea get criticised a lot, but they are building something special. People have made fun of the fact that they won the Conference League. Apparently that's not a big enough trophy for a club like Chelsea. Making fun of the fact that they're the club world champions. Apparently that's a joke tournament. But I think Chelsea are going about their business really well, and they have been successful in the transfer market because a lot of their signings have worked out. And I've got to let you in on a little bit of a secret as well, because I think Chelsea are working on signing the next Estêvão next summer, because we've been making some calls trying to find out what their strategy is for the January transfer window. And what they've been saying to us is, look, we're working at the moment on big signings for the summer of 26 and the summer of 27.
And I guess the good news for Chelsea is that not only do they get this 18-year-old player that comes and is, playing people off the park at the moment, but he's also coming with a little bit of Carlo Ancelotti's nous at the moment, because obviously he's starring for Brazil as well. He's 9 caps for Brazil. So, with all that comes that wealth of knowledge that he can add to Chelsea as well.
And of course, it's going to be a big World Cup for him next summer. The World Cup in USA, Canada and Mexico. Brazil always are going to be one of the favourites. They will be one of the favourites. And he's got the experience of having played in the Club World Cup for Palmeiras in a lot of the same stadiums as well. And I think the conditions in the USA, Canada and Mexico are going to suit sides like Brazil much more than they're going to suit sides like England, because of the heat, the humidity in Florida, if teams play in Florida, and also the pitches. A lot of the Chelsea players, the English Chelsea players, were not happy with the quality of the pitches at the Club World Cup, the same pitches that will be used at the World Cup. But the South American players, like Estêvão, are used to playing on those kind of pitches. So I think he'll be one of the stars of the World Cup. Axel Disasi, the Chelsea centre-back who they signed a couple of years ago from Monaco for £38 million. Now, he was told, you're not required, go and find yourself a new club. At the end of last season, second half of last season, he went on loan to Aston Villa, came back. There was talk of him moving in the summer to places like Sunderland, West Ham, Bournemouth. I think he preferred to move abroad, but a move didn't materialise. And he's ended up in the bomb squad, training on his own or training with Raheem Sterling. But we've been getting information that he's actually been training really, really well. Chelsea have been impressed with his attitude. And on Saturday, out of the blue, he captained Chelsea's under-21 side, even though he's well over 21, in their game against Reading. And we told you a couple of days ago that he was in line to be reintegrated back into the Chelsea first team squad. And that is exactly what's happened today, because he's trained at Cobham with the Chelsea first team. And I think between now and January, he'll probably play for the Chelsea first team again.
Well, like I was talking about in the highlights, Stevie, when we saw Estêvão come in, and we know exactly how special this is, and of course everyone's saying, you know, don't put the cart before the horse, don't put too much on this young man's shoulders just yet. But when you see the instant impact that he has, he's obviously high on confidence, he has been scoring for Chelsea. Do you think he's ready for a start?
No. No,
but to start every game.
Because of what they have. Ooh. Because of what Chelsea have.
Oh.
I'm not starting him before Neto. I'm not starting him before Cole Palmer if he's fit. So, you know, he's going to have to, by his play, get himself in a position where the manager is picking him before, well, whether it's Neto, Garnacho, Cole Palmer, or anybody else. I don't think he is ready to start. If everybody's fit, I'm playing Neto or Cole Palmer before Estêvão. But that doesn't mean that Estêvão is not magic. Imagine being able, in a game where you're struggling to break the opposition down, which they
imagine
were.
Imagine being a left wing back.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine being a fullback.
I've seen off Neto.
Neto goes on. This kid comes on you.
Like, oh,
God.
What have I done to deserve it? So no, I think what Maresca's doing with him right now is absolutely the right thing to do with a young player.